Hi baby, it's Mom. I'm going to show you how to make my roast beef that everybody seems to love. This is a chuck roast. It's a little bit small than I usually use. I get it doubles at Sam's, so this is what's left of my supply. And then I've got two large Vidalia onions quartered. Then I've got maybe a cup or more. I just usually estimate it. Frozen green peppers, you can use fresh, no problems. You can use any color. This is another ingredient, is my Lipton recipe soups, and this is beefy onion. And I just put it in about 2 cups of boiling water. And mix it up real good so it dissolves. Just takes a minute usually because I'm going to mix it some more in a minute. I like to mix it before I put the cold soups in, so it'll dissolve like it's supposed to. Alright, now I've got Campbell's French onion. Now,
back up to the now I got and start over.
I also have now Campbell's French onion soup. I don't like to use low salt or off-brand. It just makes a difference. And you just pour it right in with your other soup mixture. And then I've got the Better Than bouillon. And I'm going to put a heaping tablespoonful in it. Get it all. Likes to stick to those spoons. There we go. And that is the ingredients. These, after I get everything in the crock pot like I like it, I have...
Let's put that back down. And start over with be stirring that and say that's the ingredients for the sauce. The remainder of the ingredients, and just kind of tie this back in. Okay? Whenever you make a mistake, just back up and repeat something that you've recently said. We're still recording.
This is the ingredients for the sauce that I've just explained to you. And it's all mixed, hopefully. And then after I get everything in the crock pot, I'm going to add these 3 bay leaves. I'm going to cover it and cook it on high for 4 to 6 hours. 4.5 hours is usually enough. And then I'm going to add, I like canned potatoes, but you can peel your own potatoes. You can peel new potatoes. These are canned new potatoes. Green beans. This is a large can of the regular cut green beans. The French cut seem to dissolve when it cooks that long in the liquids, so I feel this is a better type. Now we're going to brown the beef. It doesn't take long. Just a slight brown is all it needs. It's going to cook in the crock pot. See, simple. It just helps hold the juices in while it's cooking. Now it's time to move everything to the crock pot. Okay, I have my crock pot ready with the liner. Liner helps with the cleanup, which is important in time-consuming life. I'm going to assemble the ingredients in the crock pot. We're going to start with half of these peppers. Just going right in. Half of the onions. One more. And then we're going to put the roast on. Pretty roast. In it goes. Any way you can get it in. Okay, now we're going to assemble more green peppers on the top. I like to make sure they're setting on the roast so they don't all go in the water. Onions. And now the good part. Our au jus. And this makes a great gravy too. We'll get to that later. And finally, the bay leaves. I always make sure a couple are on top with the bay leaves. Now, the water is not quite up halfway, so I'm going to add some more hot water. Okay, now we've added about 3 cups of water so it can have enough moisture in it to cook equally. And we're going to turn the crock pot onto high. We're going to cook it about 4 to 6 hours. And then I'll show you how to do the potatoes and beans and gravy. Okay, babies, we're back. The crock pot meal is done. We're going to separate the green beans and the potatoes and the meat, and then sieve the juice and put it in the gravy pan and make a quick gravy, and our dinner will be ready. All right, it's time for that gravy. We have the au jus. It's in its little separator. Gets the fat out, it's all on top, so you just pour it slowly. Not that hard. Grease is staying up on top, so you don't have greasy gravy. Now we're going to add the cornstarch, and this is going to help thicken it up. Now there's a trick to this, because you can get it too thin and you get it too thick. A lot of times I have to add a little extra, but even if it's too thin or too thick, it'll be so good it won't matter, and you'll learn from experience. Alright, I just pour some in. This is cold water, about 3/4 of a cup. I'm going to do 2 or 3 of these because this is quite a bit of au jus. We're just going to mix it up in that cold water. Doesn't take much. And then when this is bubbling pretty good, we're going to start adding. I'll get this out of the way first. Get this ready. And there's a little bubble. Here we go. I like to use my whisk. Does a better job. Are you hungry? Can you smell it? It'll thicken up when it gets hot enough. It'll thicken up pretty fast. But so far I've never had a problem with over thickening it. I've actually had to put a little more in. Perfect. Ta-da! Be sure and think of Mama, Nana, when you eat this. Love you guys.